I'll tell you what, it's quite enjoyable watching this pre-season. I didn't think I would enjoy it. I said at the start last month, Manchester United 1-0 winners there today against Lyon in Edinburgh. Van der Beek with a absolutely wonderful goal. You saw from the photos, you saw the relief after months of rehab. For him to score that goal would have meant a lot to him personally. Matej Kovar putting in a fantastic performance, I would say, in goal. And now as he played 90 minutes, the only player so far who hasn't been taken off at half-time in one of the games. I'm going to run through absolutely everything that happened in that game. If you missed it, this is the match reaction for you. But just to get you a little bit more excited before we start talking about it, Onana is in Manchester. He is on his way to Carrington. The medical's happening in the next hour. That is going to be hopefully announced tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to it. And I tell you what, as I said, let me zoom in on that photo. Look at the relief in Van der Beek's face. Dan Gore with an absolute beautiful cross. Fired over. Van der Beek on the first time volley with his right foot. A cultured, cushioned finish. Kind of put his foot, he didn't just like lash his foot through it. It really was an excellent goal from a player who really would have needed that. You saw the players hugging him there. There's Mark Urado. There's Hugill as well in that second half. And fair play, Donny, man. I personally still feel, look, I'm happy to be proven wrong in this preseason, but I personally still feel that this is going to be the summer where if Manchester United can get a good fee for Van der Beek, then he should go and restart his career elsewhere. But maybe, I'm not going to allow myself mentally to sort of get excited about the idea of Martial anymore, because I know how that story ends. But maybe there's part of me that will allow Van der Beek one more chance. Maybe that's me being a hypocrite. I don't know. But it really was a cracking goal. For me, the main talking point and the main takeaway from that game, however, was not about Donny van der Beek. It wasn't about this guy either. But in a million years, did you ever imagine that Jonny Evans coming back to Manchester United? And I have to be like, you could tell he's an experienced defender in that second half. Just like good positioning, knows when to jump in, knows when to stay back. Look, he's only here for a couple of games. That's one of them. The other game, he's flying to San Diego to play with the youth team when they play Wrexham. But I genuinely wouldn't... let's see what happens. But I wouldn't put it past Manchester United or Erik ten Hag to give him a short one-year deal because of how little money we have. The idea of Jonny Evans as a backup there to Martinez on the left with Lindelof then as a backup to Varane on the right. It's probably not the most outrageous idea as far as United's coaching staff is concerned. Just my thoughts. But anyway, this guy, I would say, was probably the man of the match. Matej Kovar won the league with Sparta Prague last season, okay? Czech Republic League. And there were questions. He came back to Carrington on the first day of training saying, okay, maybe he could be our number 2. I think he showed there today. He showed pretty much in the first, when he played, he came on a half-time against Leeds, was impressive. And he was the only player to not be taken off at half-time by Erik ten Hag because Erik ten Hag wanted to continue watching him. And he really did deliver. It was just the whole game. It was assured. There were quite a few passes where Matej Kovar was being, I think I've got a photo up here. Matej Kovar in this situation was being like pressured, squeezed down by the Lyon attackers. He found Martinez. Martinez gave it the eyes, ran back through, and look at this gap over here that Martinez ran. I think he ran forward like 40 yards. United did that on multiple occasions today. And that game there was a sort of a bit of a look towards, a nod towards what we've got coming up. A goalkeeper who is comfortable with the ball at his feet. And given the fact that we've got Jonny Evans back on a short-term deal, and that might turn into maybe a one, I don't know. Maybe he's just here for 2 games, that's the end of it. Money is not exactly flush at Manchester United right now. So Ten Hag that's the reason he kept him on at half-time. No other player did. And I think Kovar, for me, was man of the match. I thought he really, really impressed. And I'll tell you what, I thought Varane was quite good as well. That whole defence has to be comfortable receiving the ball, going on a half-turn, squeezing into spaces, passing through small gaps to be able to play that pressing system. Now, we've seen now that Kovar is comfortable doing it. We knew that Martinez would be comfortable. He was comfortable last year with non-comfortable people around him. And I thought Varane played quite well there. I thought the passes were good and he made the right decisions. It'll be interesting to see how they continue to play and how they will play with Andre Onana. But yeah, Kovar for me was probably the man of the match. Who was yours? Let me know in the comments. There wasn't really much to talk about from Mason Mount's second performance in the United shirt. Thought he was better in the first game. I thought Hannibal and Mainoo, they also did keep their plaudits. I thought they played quite well. Mate, Kobe Mainoo, man, I haven't got a photo of him here, but he doesn't look 18 in terms of how he plays. You know how when a youngster comes into a team and they think, oh, I've got to take I have to take center stage. I have to do everything to force myself into the manager's thoughts. Kobe's like, yeah, he just plays it simple. Just plays it. He doesn't need to do the Hollywood stuff or try and steal the limelight. He steals the limelight by kind of doing it quietly, consistently. He's going to be the breakthrough player. Although there is another central midfielder, a young central midfielder I speak about as well. But Mason Mount, not too much to discuss. 2 games under the belt. Let's see how he gets on against Arsenal. I'm looking forward to that. Anthony, back in the squad. Not injured. I don't remember Anthony starting out on the left-hand side. Anybody else? Let me know in the comments. I'm pretty sure he started every single game on the right. Ahmad started in the middle? Was it Sancho on the right? The first 10 minutes were the best 10 minutes for United. Everybody was pressing. We should have scored 2, maybe 3 goals in the first 10 minutes. Loads of chances. Loads of real dynamic movement from the front 4. Hannibal was playing, I think, as a false 9 at one point. Ahmad, Sancho, and Anthony. Hey, look, Anthony, the final product wasn't there. I think we've had that issue last season. He'll continue to develop. That's his first game back in pre-season. It's good to see him back as well. Ahmad, I think Ahmad looks better, slightly further away from the penalty box. I don't know whether he hesitates. I don't know whether he hasn't got that composure yet. But he seems better in like the half spaces between the 18-yard box and the halfway line. A little bit of room to maneuver and run into 1-2s, intricate footwork, rather than the final decisive ball. Now, that might be, again, just because it's pre-season and just because everyone's brushing the cobwebs off. But yeah, I think Ahmad's a little bit better there. But I was impressed with how fluid all of our attackers were together. Alvaro Fernandez. Now, I praised him in the first game, and I wanted to look at him closely in this game because Tyrone Malacia is injured. He won't be going on the pre-season tour, which means this lad here all of a sudden becomes the second choice left back behind Luke Shaw, and it's an opportunity for him. I don't think he was particularly impressive today, but I don't think he didn't make any mistakes either. Actually, I said that. He definitely gave a penalty away. He definitely gave a penalty away. If there was VAR, penalty all day long. So maybe he got away with that one a little bit. But I'm interested to watch his progression during the pre-season tour now that Malacia isn't here. And Hannibal, as I said, I think took the plaudits, not all the plaudits in the first game. I think he deserved them again. I thought he played quite well. Again, he's on the edge a little bit. A bit like Bruno Fernandes. Could have got booked, probably should have got booked in the first half, but it's a friendly, so the ref lets him off. But I like his application. Now, of course, the whole team changed in that second half. The whole team, apart from Matej Kovar, which I said is quite an interesting, a bit of a telling little sign from Ten Hag that he is looking at Kovar and thinking, can he do it as my number 2? Fred captained. It was all about Van der Beek. But I'll tell you what, a real special mention has to go to Dan Gore. Dan Gore is our current Jimmy Murphy Young Player of the Year, the Under-21s Player of the Season last season. You know, everyone's going, oh, Zidane Iqbal this, Zidane Iqbal that. You know, all of a sudden we're looking at Mainoo coming through this season, and we could talk about Dan Gore there, and you see there is some actual genuine quality and depth of quality in our younger teams. Don't know whether Under-21's foot was going to do him any favours anymore. He was easily the standout player in the second half, not only just for the cross for Donny's goal, but just overall, kind of an all-round performance from him. Anybody who's watched United's youth team players, I don't know. He's one to watch. I don't know whether he's going to be this season's Zidane Iqbal, and the idea that he might have a crack in pre-season, might go on the pre-season tour, but maybe won't get opportunities. Maybe a loan spell will probably suit him better, but a really good performance. And I'll tell you what, Ten Hag he'll be happy. He'll be happy with what he saw. He'll be particularly happy for Donny van der Beek. And as I said, I want to kind of end on that point. I've sort of written off his chances of coming back, impressing enough in the pre-season that he earns himself one more season at Manchester United and continues. I know Man United have been offering him out. I think we'd offered him to Atalanta, just like we did with Fred. I think he's considered not a first-team squad player. But prove me wrong, Donny. And that there today, you saw the relief there. A 1-0 win, and what a goal it was from him. 4 minutes into his return after months and months working in rehab. It must be mentally challenging. So fair play to Donny. And as I said, it was a wonderful ball from Dan Gore. But who was your man of the match? For me, I'm probably going to give it to Matej Kovar. I'm really interested to see what happens with this, because maybe we won't sign a second goalkeeper at all. Or maybe we still need to. So we've got 3 goalkeepers. Maybe Tom Heaton will leave. He wasn't even in Edinburgh. I think that, again, that is telling. Who's your man of the match? What's your reaction? Let me know in the comments below. But 2 games, 2 wins, 2 clean sheets. Bring on Arsenal on Saturday night.